Walk with me, Lord. Please walk with me. Walk with me, Lord. Oh, please walk with me. While I'm on this tedious journey, Lord, I'm asking you to walk. Please walk with me. I can remember what it was like the very day sitting out in the yard. I can remember what it was like to have someone that I called master. I can remember what it was like to be owned by a white man. I can remember the sounds of screams as they came from the yard. I can remember the one voice, the one scream, the one sound that just stuck with me so bad. Because it was the sound and the screams of my mother. You see, I can remember the day that they hung my father from a tree. You see, I can remember what it was like to hear those screams. I can remember what it was like to hear my mother as she screamed. I can remember. Ah! No! I can remember as I ran around the corner, as my heart beat faster, as my breath went away, as I ran to my mother to see my father hang from a tree. I can remember what it was like to watch my uncle as he ran and he climbed that tree, as he pulled his knife out to cut the rope that hung his brother, the last of his family. I can remember what it was like to watch the tears as they flowed from my mother's eyes. I can remember how my uncle was so nervous as he got his knife out to cut the rope, only to know that if he cut that rope, he too would hang from that very same rope. I can remember the day that they came to cut my father down. He hung in that tree for so long. I can remember as the wind blowed, his body swayed. And as the wind blowed, his body swayed. And as the wind blowed, his body swayed. I can remember. I can remember what it was like to lose the only father that I had. I can remember what it was like to understand the way that my uncle cried and why his heart poured out so much. I can remember the day that they cut his lifeless body down. I can remember the sound of the thud as his lifeless body hit the ground. I can remember how all of the women, they came up to my mother and they grabbed a hold to my mother's hand, and one of them said, my husband too hung from that very same tree. She said sometimes in life, things are you never understand them. You'll never understand them. But she said sometimes, whenever you don't know who you can call on, when you don't know who you can turn to, there's someone that you can turn to. There's someone who will be there for you better than any man or any woman can be there for you. She sat there and she told her, she said, when you feel like no one there, No one is there to just simply hold your hand. She said, you can look to the stars above and you can say, hold my hand, Lord. Please hold my hand. She said that when no one else is there to hold your hand, when you think about your husband who hung and died, hold my hand, Lord. Hold, please hold my hand. She squeezed on my mother's hand. She grabbed a hold to my hand. She looked at my uncle and she said that things are going to be harder, but they would get better and brighter. She said that you have the hope of tomorrow, and that if you simply wake up in the morning, brighter days will be available for you. Another mother walked up, and she just hugged on my mother. She loved on my mother. She looked at my uncle, and as the tears started to flow from her eyes, she said, I will love you until the end of time. She said that God gave you the gift of life and told you that I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. So when you think that the love is no longer there, all you have to do is center yourself and understand that the love comes from somewhere that you have no power of controlling, because the love comes from above. She said, if you believe or not, she said, whenever those dark days come, whenever those hard times come, whenever you think about the fact that they hung your brother, she said, you can look up and you can say, love, hold me, Lord. Please, love, hold me. She said those times when the tears start to just fall and flow from your eyes. She said when everything just seems like it's nothing but lies. She said that when the times get so hard, when they get so hard that the only thing you can see is darkness, she said you just have to remember, love on me, Lord. Oh, please love on me. You see, the reality is that the thing that helped us to be able to overcome the loss of my father, the loss of my mother's husband, the loss of my uncle's only brother, was to simply know that there was this thing that was called community. As the women came around and they gathered around us, they made a circle. They grabbed a hold to my mother and they loved her. They grabbed a hold to my uncle and they loved him. And in all actuality, I didn't know what was going on, but I knew that there was something that was happening because I could feel it all in my soul. You see, the reality is that they took my father from me, but I gained something that was so much more. I gained community. I got unity within community. I not only had my mother and my uncle, but I had others that came in, and not only did they take care of me, but they took care of my mother. You see, the reality is that I can remember. I can remember how they hung him. I can remember how he died. I can remember, how his body swayed. As the wind blew, his body swayed. But it doesn't matter if I can remember. The reality is that I can remember. Can you? Can you remember? Ashe.